Next talk is by Mrinal, and he has a very inspirational story about why this talk is going to be there as well. Build your own live streaming device behind your home router, and we'll have the Q&A towards the end. Please ask for the mic when you're asking questions, and let's get to it. Mrinal, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aris. I hope I pronounce it correctly this way. So, thank you all for joining, and thank you all for coming to PyCon India 2024. And since you have come today, I have a very exciting talk to present today to you. So, quickly, short intro about me is I'm a software engineer at Cisco, but most of the time I do automation scripting things which are like related to Cisco's iOS routers and switches, basically getting all the performance metrics to my Python dictionary, and also all about getting the how the devices are onboarded using zero-touch provisioning and all those tech stuffs. But today's talk is very interesting for me, and I will tell you why. Please have a look at my 1.5-year-old Bhanja. So what he has, the day when he got his leg, we started getting attention of why he's getting out onto the road, outside of like where we don't want him to run out and get himself hurt. So for that, I got this idea. Why I want that data for a particular area to wherever I go over my personal phones, right? So that I can be alarmed all the time. So it's a basic intro, and though there are many commercially available video streaming devices like Tapo available in the market, I was looking for affordable way where every user has their own routers and switches. Router which behaves as a switch in their home. So today I will be talking about what are the devices I will be using, we will be using what is the static IP, who is DHCP, what is DHCP, we will get to know that. We will also get to know what is port forwarding, and we will see how do we capture frames. We will try to test that, whether that traffic is being generated outside to my personal phones. And once we are done, we will have a quick demo. And then we will also see what are the limitations there. We will try to remove them by obtaining a free URL to our router, few takeaway points, and then a question answer. So for next slide, I want your attention to be the person who are more interested towards building a business in the live streaming. They may have a look here. As per the recent report of the business research company, they did a research about it, about how much market we have in the live streaming. So it's, as per the research, it is expected that 20%, about 20% CAGR between 2023 to 2028, it is going to expand. And it's a very big opportunity that enthusiasts like us may tap on it. Okay, so let's see on the topology. So what are the things that is required? First, you need a Raspberry, which I have it over here, and you will require a camera module. This, what I have here is Raspberry 0. It supports wireless connectivity, and it has a camera port. And though there is a CPU and others, you might be knowing it's a mini supercomputer we have. So once we make the connection here, we will be able to get the traffic, right? So my device, when it is connected to a webcam, it is capturing the video frames. Next is, once we are able to capture the video frames, is my data available outside the internet? So it's asking, can you see me? Who? My real VNC phone. Am I able to get the traffic outside my internet? So it said, I don't know. All right, I don't know. So what we need to do, we need to tell the router, okay, can you please create a rule? all right? What is static IP? I will get into that. So once we are able to do that, we will try to configure port forwarding. Don't worry, I am going to talk about it, what is port forwarding. So once we open the ports, how it will be, port is open. Then again my Raspberry is going to ask, my streaming device is going to ask, okay, let's see. Now can you see me? So internet will say, yes, hi, I know you are there, available. Okay, my real VNC phone, where I'm going to see the stream data, it is also going to know. Okay, yeah, perfect. So this is whole idea that we are going to discuss today. I hope you have got the gist till now. So by now I have a stream data. Okay, so what I need is Raspberry. I need Raspberry. Once you have the Raspberry, we are all set. Okay, we will make the connection to the Raspberry, and making the connection, we will have the stream data. So for that we have to write a script. Okay, so anyone knows what is the, can you show me your hands, like how many knows this logo? Thank you. I see a great raise of hands, and this means that your attention is with me. So yeah, so this is an OpenCV. OpenCV is, we are going to use OpenCV to capture the video frames. You might be knowing, today we are not going to see that. Our main objective is to get that traffic outside of my home, all right? So let's see. Okay, so we will be using this OpenCV to capture the frames, all right? We will be capturing the frames. With that, we will now try to set the IP static. Okay, so I want you to know what is static IP and why we need this is because let's take an example of a classroom. All right, many of you might be knowing that a classroom, you have a roll number assigned, right? Roll number 29, roll number 21, all right? But does that roll number changes within a section? No, right? No, definitely, thank you. So we are trying to set that IP static so that whenever I call my router 29, roll number 29, my device should answer, yes, I am roll number 29. So that's why we are going to tell that, okay, you are going to have a roll number 29. But whenever teacher assigns you a roll number, what you do? The first thing you do is open your notebook and write your roll number there. My roll number is 21. So this is called dhcpcd.conf file. This is a page where device maintains, CD, okay, maintains to store that I am going to have this roll number from my 9. I am going to remember it. I will be having this roll number 29. All right, so let's move ahead. How we will make a IP static on our device, right? Okay, so let's see. So to set this, we have these are the configurations that we need to do. We are going to assign what is the IP there. Oh, first of all, suppose if you are connecting wirelessly, we are going to use WLAN. And suppose if you're using Ethernet to connect, in this only possibility is wireless connectivity, there is no Ethernet port. So suppose if you have Ethernet port, so you have to change with respect to that. Once you make that connection, you have to give the desired IP static. So in that case, my roll number 29, I will be telling here roll number 29, this is, I've been assigned this. And then we will be setting the router IP and then the domain name server. We will see what is domain name. Please be with me. Once we have made the configuration file, we have noted down, the device has noted down. Now what we have to do is, we have to restart the DHCP. DHCP is nothing but a class teacher who has assigned me. So yeah, just a refresh. Okay. So with this command, we are going to refresh it. Next is, so by now, if you are with me, we have the traffic being captured using OpenCV. We have told that the IP which has been assigned to you by home, please copy it in a notebook, that is dhcpcd.conf, that your roll number is 29. Roll number 29 means IP is 29. All right, IP, local IP. All right. So with that, we are good. Next is, we have to create a rule. Let's come back to our example of classroom. Suppose your friends ask, you have a dance competition. Mrinal, please come outside. We have to participate, right? Your class teacher will not allow it. Okay, your class teacher is not going to allow in between class to go outside. So by default, you have to create a rule or ask permission from a teacher. Please, teacher, I want to go to outside. So that's what is called port forwarding rule. All right. So with that rule, we will be allowing our traffic which is inside to go outside the internet. Okay, we are opening the ports. I use the ports, word ports, we will get to know. So here we are trying to open a port which is VNC ports. These are known good ports, like you might have heard about SSH, which has 22, FTP 21, such and such, HTTPS 82 and all. So therefore, here we are trying to open port 5900. So this is a known good ports for 59 VNC. So with that, let's see how we will create a rule. Tell the teacher that please allow me, I'm roll number 29, please allow me to go outside. Means someone who wants to know me, they can get to know. So this is how we are going to pass the informations. First, where you have to log in, you have to be near your home router, okay? So when you are near your home router, with this you have to log in. Once you log in and navigate to port forwarding section, so here we will have to create a rules. So creating rules is very interesting way. First you have to get the name. I have given the name as PyCon session, all right, rule 1. And secondly, I have created a port range. As I said, I'm going to open a port VNC 5900. So here we are going to pass 5900 and the IP address, that is my roll number 29. Teacher, please allow roll number 29 to go outside the class. Now we are setting the protocols and the WAN host IP. Once we are set, we need to reboot the router. We are opening the router. By default, class teacher will not allow anyone to go outside the class. That is why we are creating the rule. So by now we have the captured frames. We have created the roll number fixed. Now we have told the class teacher, that is our router, please allow it to go outside, traffic to go outside. And next is, once we have done it, we can test it using is my port open. So once we are to test whether that I'm able to reach outside, right? So with that, we are going to see if it is coming like this portal, we are going to give the IP address, which is public IP address. Just be with me, okay? Like suppose, let's come back to the classroom example. Suppose vice principal wants to call you, right? So he will be calling not by your roll number. Roll number 29 will be common in all the classes. He would be calling with the class teacher's name or maybe the class name, right? So here, this IP that you are seeing, just be with me. We will be talking about this. It's a router's IP, that is a classroom. Like section 1, roll number 29 should come, okay? So roll number 29 is at 5900 port, which we have created the rules. So this should come as a green, okay? This port is open. It should come like this whenever you are testing it. When we have created this rule, now is the time to test it, okay? So we are talking about VNC here. So let's talk about VNC. VNC is a portal to create a, to make a remote connections towards our, with that IP, okay? So once we are able to do that, we will be seeing like this, okay? So what all information that we are passing here is, just be with me. These are the public IPs that we are passing, not the roll number 29. Next is the port, followed by the port to correctly identify where my device is at the home. So once you are able to do it, these all informations, we would be able to we will be able to connect to our home device. All right. So let's see the demo. Okay. So I have a demo planned for you. All the stock is nothing without a perfect demo. So let's see if it comes up. So what you are seeing now is that the streaming data coming directly from my home. All the stream data that this camera that I have set up is at my home location, and with the router's IP, I am able to get all this traffic stream data over my personal desktop or your personal phone. You can connect it via, okay? So with this, we will also see how we are going to set the IP static. All right. So config. So as you can see, if my screen is not that visible, let me highlight it. All right. Okay, so as you can see, if it is not visible, this is the 192 network, which is, if most of you would be knowing about it, it's a private network. And this is the IP that has been assigned by a class teacher, that is DHCP, home router. Now, with this, we want to create a configuration file. I have talked about static IP, right? So how do we do it? Let me show you that as well. Sure, yeah. Thank you. Hope it is visible. Let me know if you want me to increase the size. Okay, so we are here. Wait. All right, just a minute. All right, okay, let me show you how we are going to set the Wi-Fi informations. So basically what we were trying to do is, we were trying to make the IP, which is 29, in the configuration file to be static. After that, we have to transfer that, okay, so after that we will have to transfer this traffic towards the internet. So we will be going to the home router where we will be setting the IP. All right, wait a minute. So, so the problem with this approach is, whenever you are trying to use the router's public IP, right? So it might keep on changing. So what happens is, like, when your power goes off and on, so router gets assigned dynamically a new IP. So whenever you are outside your home, you might not be near your router to do what's my IP. That's the best website to know what is your IP which is assigned to your router. So is there any approach like where we should be knowing all the time what is my router's public IP so that we can directly connect to the device? So to avoid this, we are going to assign a free URL to it. This is very interesting. There are two approaches to assign to get an IP fixed. Is first one approach is to contact your ISP who has given you router, maybe Airtel Jio, to tell them that I want to purchase a static IP that will cost you 5,000 per month. But if not, maybe less, maybe more, but around that. But there are second approach by directly taking a free URL to it, which is dynamically DNS approach. It's like getting your URL to your changing IP. So there are many free DDNS, that is dynamically domain name system, to assign a IP to your router. Okay, so there are free service providers like NoIP, which I'm using it for this today's session. There we created the NoIP, we logged into that account. Once you log in, they will provide you the username, they will provide you the password. All this information you have to come again to your home router and then set it. So once you are able to set it with this password and then save it, all the domain name, we will be getting all the IPs. We will be getting the URL to it. So now we have reached the end of the session. So let me say you what you have learned today is, first, what we did was create a script where we were getting all the stream data through our camera over our personal computer. This is Raspberry Pi. Second, we set the configuration IP static to this, that is roll number 29, fixed it, so that whenever my device reboots, whenever my router reboots, it should know that I have a IP address 29 in this. Next, we open the ports. We learned port forwarding rule. We opened the ports towards the internet. We told the class teacher to allow this guy to go outside the traffic to the internet. And third, we learned how do we create a free URL, that is, which directly points to your IP all the time, your router's public IP. So with that, I would like to rest my case. I hope you have enjoyed the session, and I would open this. I hope you have enjoyed it, and like any questions that you have, yeah, let's have it.
Thank you, Mrinal. If you have any questions, yeah, could you please pass the mic?
Hey, hi. That's a really good session, and so I have tried kind of doing something like this similar to my home, and finally ended up in breaking the existing configuration, and I had to wait for the internet service provider for 1 month or 1 week for them to come and fix it. But my question is, changing the dynamic IP into static IP, don't you think that will create some kind of security threats or issues for the existing network? Nobody's gonna hack my personal thing, that is fine, but something happening at the enterprise level.
Sure,
So
that's a good question. May I know your name, please?
my name is Gopi.
Gopi, that's a good question, Gopi. Opening a ports is always a challenge. There is a reason why ports are not opened by default by the ISP routers, is because of your safety. So if you are trying to open a ports towards the internet, as per his question, will I be affected by it, right? So there are many steps that we should take to avoid being, attacked by, foreign attackers. So first is like what I have done is like I have created an SSH way to connect to my device. Like whenever you try to log in via VNC to my device, you will be prompted with what is your passwords. So I've created a strong passwords for it. So yeah, these are the few ways that we can avoid being affected by opening up ports. So and also second thing is like I've already opened a port 29, which is like creating a rule also. While creating rule, we should be aware like we are not opening any other port other than 5900. And yeah, even if that is impacting, so it is going to impact my device and not my other services which are running in the router. I hope that I have answered your question, Gopi. Thanks. Yeah, I will take one more question. It's that fine.
Yeah, so like my question is the FQDN that we'll get from no IP. So
Where are you, please? I am not able to see.
in front of
Thanks. Okay. Your good
so,
name, please. Yeah.
Pradyum.
Pradyum. Okay. Hi, Pradyum.
So hi. So the FQDN that we'll get from no IP, is that customizable or like by default we get?
By default, they provide you all the sorts of host names that you can get it. But since this is free, they provide you a limited options. You can't go. Like in my case, I was able to customize it to pycon.hopto. I don't want to reveal that IP. And with that IP, I was able to connect it. So yeah, you can do it. But the limitation with this free DDNS is every 30 days you have to renew your host name. Otherwise, it will be assigned to someone else. So for that reason, yeah, please. Any other questions?
Yeah, hello. I had a question.
Yeah.
So I had two questions actually. The first one is regarding the.
Your good name, please.
My name is Suvan.
Rohin.
Suvan.
Hi, yeah, Suvan.
Yeah. So first question is your decision behind taking the VNC protocol. Since you were working with video streaming, you could have worked with I guess WebRTC or any other video streaming, right? So why would you go for VNC?
So for VNC, going towards VNC was basically, I am not aware of most of your questions. We can connect outside, but mostly my vision was to able to send this traffic and someone client must be there to receive it. So I already knew Raspberry comes pre-installed with the VNC server, which keeps on broadcasting at 5900. So I wanted to use that feature so that just the limitation was that traffic VNC was not going to open it towards the internet. For that, we had to create a rule. So that's what I wanted to share in this entire session about it. That was the one way to solve it. There may be many other ways to solve it too. But yeah, that's the easiest.
Thank you. And my other question was, I have a domain, okay, I have a like proper domain, not a dynamic DNS.
Okay.
So for that domain, what I did was I set up a tail scale. So like this DDNS, is it like paid?
DDNS, yeah, no, there are free DDNS. Yeah, these are free DDNS. Only limitation, you need to renew it every time 30 days. Yeah, that's a free IP. Like there are many free DDNS tools. which only routers or your router that is public ISP, I mean your router public ISP which you have purchased should also support. There are many free DNS. So yeah, these are free.
What are the advantages of using like a private VPN, which can let you connect directly to your server? Like I used to use TLScale for my solution. So what's the advantage of no IP over TLScale?
I need to check on this. I am not fully aware of it, so we'll take the session outside. I mean, you can connect.
Sorry,
with
I'll
me.
connect with you later on.
Sure.
Thank you.
In the interest of time, like any quick questions or like we don't have it? Yeah, we have time for questions. So yeah,
So my question is basically
your name please.
Aman.
Aman. Yeah, Aman.
So my question was like, let's say the VNC port that you are, let's say 500 doubles you were using, that is occupied already. I mean, there might be cases that there might be multiple cameras attached to the same machine at a certain point of time. So how someone's gonna tackle that? Because you can't be like giving same DNS, I mean the same DNS name to both these cameras. So how to deal with that?
So as per his question, what I have understand is like suppose there are multiple users within your router, right? So suppose that 5900 port is already occupied. So how will other person will be able to open a port on this? Am I correct? So for that, this is a limitation that's that we need to tackle is first is like if you have a multiple cameras to display, I will again come to the so no, like if there are multiple cameras to display, there is option in OpenCV to open a multiple channels. Right now you were seeing on my desktop only one person detection was there open. So we can open it for multiple channels by connecting to a Raspberry. Raspberry supports. If doesn't, then you need to scale it using a switch. Switch will provide you multiple USB slots where you can insert your camera port and then connect to your Raspberry. You will be able to do it. So I have any other questions? That's it. Okay. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you for joining and patiently listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrinal.